Yo, what's up, everyone? It's your boy Noble Living, and we are back for another episode with DYF Bets. And listen, last night we had an amazing day, okay? We hit our first 10X Parlay. Right. And then we also hit our best bet of the night, which was Tom Brady over pass attempts. Now, I did miss on the NC State getting over 13.5 points in the first half, and that's my apologies. And the reason why I got to apologize is because here's a little sports betting education for you. You got to do your due diligence. And I did my due diligence in terms of looking at all of the stats and all the numbers, but I made a very rookie mistake, a bonehead mistake, and that is I didn't look at the injury report. I didn't realize that NC State was without their star quarterback, who was also named the ACC Preseason Player of the Year, as he's done for the year with an injury. Well, guess what? They were starting two inexperienced quarterbacks, and as soon as I realized that, couldn't cash out. I was just having faith. I had my fingers crossed, and it didn't work out in my favor. But luckily, I didn't put as much money on that as I did some of my other best bets. And again, the 10X Parlay made up for all of that. So I'm just super happy that we were able to get our first 10X Parlay under our belt. And I've got another winner for us today in the 10X Parlay. And then also another winner best bet. So definitely like the channel, subscribe to it, drop a comment with your plays, okay? So this way I can see some of the things that you're taking. So this way I can get different angles, different perspectives. And you never know, I might take one of your plays because truthfully I like to tell a lot of picks. Sometimes people have different analysis and different outlooks that I didn't see, and that can always be a winner. I'm just trying to get paid, baby. So let's get paid today, and let's dive into our best bets of the day. Our best bet for today, our single pick that I like the most, is I got Tyrese Halliburton over 31.5 PRAs, points, rebounds, and assists at minus 125 on my book. Now, you guys know when it comes down to prop bets, PRAs are not my favorite because there are a whole lot of stat lines that you got to check off the boxes. And truthfully, when you get down, like when you start adding it all up, like if somebody's points are like 20, then their PRAs might be like 30. Like that's a whole 10 difference. And you're like, well, that's only 5 rebounds, 5 assists, Noble. Yeah, but sometimes it's a little tough. But I really like Tyrese Halliburton here because he's the main ball handler for the Pacers. He's one of their best players, if not their best player. Everything runs through him on the offense. And then he also has that size to where he goes after rebounds. He is hit on this prop 5 times this year already. So he's already finished with 32, 35, 38, 42, and 37 PRAs. That's what I like to see. He's averaging 36.8 PRAs. So they're literally giving us a line 7 points below this. And he's averaging about 22 points per game and about 20 potential assists per game. So even if we don't get there with the rebounds, I like him to even hit this total with just rebounds, and I like him to get this total with just points and assists. And then they're playing the Wizards in this matchup. And if you look at it, he's already played the Wizards already this year. And he's gone over this total when he played them on opening night. He had 26 points. He had 4 rebounds, so that brings us to 30. And then he had 7 assists. So that's 37 PRAs. We can't beat that. And like I said, they're giving me a line at 31.5. I got to take it here. I really like that angle. So give me Halliburton over 31.5 point rebounds and assists as my best bet of the night. All right, let's get into it. 10X Parlay. I'm trying to hit 2 in a row. I ain't going to lie to y'all. It feels good making $1,000 off of $100 and seeing that hit my account last night, and the fact that it only took me about 5 tries to get it means that I'm in the positive and I want to keep that momentum going. Now, I tried something a little bit differently today. Now, you're probably saying, Noble, if it ain't broke, why are you fixing it? I understand, but I want to try something a little bit different, and it's simply because there are a lot of props out there tonight that I could have taken, but I wanted to take a different angle, a different perspective on it. So what I've done is I put together a 4-leg parlay, but these are game parlays. So the first angle that I like is the Timberwolves first quarter spread minus 2.5. Now, the Timberwolves are playing the Lakers. The Lakers, we know the problems that they're having. I ain't betting on them. I'm not expecting them to turn things around anytime soon, and you shouldn't either. Stop hoping, and let's just wait till we see something. And until I see something, I ain't betting on them, okay? Minnesota, they're third in the NBA in first quarter point margin at about plus 8.2 points per game. So that means they're outscoring their opponents about 8 points in the first quarter. But guess what? You know where the Lakers are? 29th out of 30 teams at minus 6.8 a game. So literally all I'm asking for the Timberwolves to be up by 3, and if you look at this disparity here, there's a pretty wide margin, and I really think that the Timberwolves, they're the better team right now, right? The Lakers might have certain experience, but they haven't figured it all out. They might win the game. They might cover. I don't know, but I don't think they're going to be leading after the first quarter. So give me the Timberwolves on the first quarter spread minus 2.5 on the first leg of the parlay. The second leg of the parlay, I'm going to the Wizards minus 2.5 first half spread. Like I mentioned earlier, they're paying the Pacers. The Pacers are god awful. They don't have anybody who's really like, they've got good talent, they've got young talent, but they don't have top level caliber players. Washington is 6th in the NBA in first half margin at plus 3.8. So they're winning most of their games by close to 4 points per game. And guess where Indiana is? Dead last in the NBA in first half point differential at minus 12.8. So they're literally losing games by close to 13 points at the halftime. Listen, you're asking the Wizards just to be up by 3. They're the better team. They've got better players. They got more all-stars. I like them here. So give me the Wizards at minus 2.5 first half spread. Now, the next play that I'm looking at here is sticking with the early game, sticking with the early quarters. I'm going with the Bucks first quarter money line. Now, their spread was at like minus 2 against the Knicks, and I also like that as well if you want the value. But I'm taking the money line here because it's in a parlay and it's a safer bet. Milwaukee is number 1 team in the NBA in first quarter differential at close to 10 points per game. If you guys were in the Telegram, you would have seen my best bet the other day when they played the Nets in terms of the first quarter spread. No sweat bet. And I'm looking for the same thing here. Bucks are even stronger at home, and they're winning the first quarter by close to 11.5 points in the first quarter. That's what I'm looking for. Now, you're probably saying, so no, but why didn't you take the spread? Because the Knicks, believe it or not, are 6th in the NBA in first quarter point margin. So they're a team that typically starts off pretty strong. So because of that, it kind of deterred me off of the spread, and I was just like, because the Knicks come out strong, the Bucks come out strong, but the Bucks are the better team, I believe that they should be winning at the end of the first quarter. So give me the Bucks on the first quarter money line. Now, the last pick that I have inside of this one, now I got it at plus money value, and it's probably the one that I'm least confident in, but I like the angle, and I'm going with it, okay? It's the Astros versus the Phillies under 6.5 total runs. Now, if you've been watching both of these teams play, their offenses have been percolating. They've been hot. They've been hitting home runs. I mean, Bryce Harper's doing his thing. Schwarber's gotten out of his slump. Alvarez for the Astros is cranking out home runs at an ungodly rate. Like, offense is supposed to be in this game. But I'm banking on these two starting pitchers to hold it down. Verlander is going for the Astros. You guys know how clutch Verlander has been. He led the league in ERA this past year, number 1 pitcher in terms of earned runs per game. And then he also faced the Phillies on October 4th. So in the same month, he faced this Phillies team. He pitched 5 innings. He didn't give up a single hit. He didn't give up a single run. He had 1 walk, and he had 10 strikeouts. So he was dominating this lineup. Now, obviously, the World Series is different pressure, different environment. And if you're familiar with Verlander's record inside of the World Series, I think he's 0-6 in the World Series, giving up like 9 home runs. That's what's got me the most nervous, is because he can mess up at times, right? But on the other side of the mound, I've got Aaron Nola. Same thing. He had a rough outing last game against the Padres. I think he gave up 6 earned runs by the time he got out of that game. But Aaron Nola faced the Astros the day before Verlander faced the Phillies. And guess what? He went 6.2 innings, 2 hits, 0 runs, 0 walks, 9 strikeouts. So while the pressure is on the pitchers in this game, I think the pressure comes on both sides of the ball, both on the bat and the pitching side. Both of these teams have stout bullpens, and that's what I'm really expecting to see here, is that these aces hold it down through about 5 or 6 innings, and then we got the bullpens that are really clutch. They've got some of the top ERAs in terms of bullpen ERAs, and I expect them to hold down the fort. So give me the under in the Astros 6.5 total game runs. That's the 10X parlay for today. If it's plus 1,000 points, give me the Timberwolves first quarter spread minus 2.5, Wizards minus minus 2.5 first half spread. Bucks first quarter money line. Astros versus Phillies under 6.5 total runs. That's what I'm liking. Now, my other bet for today, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, it's not one of my best bets. Truthfully, one of the first quarter spreads or money lines will probably be what I put majority more money on besides the Halliburton game. But I told y'all I'm trying to be consistent with the 27 days of football and put out a football play every day. The slate for football ain't too sexy. We hit on the Tom Brady play yesterday, so we checked that off the list. So let's see if we can keep the momentum going today. I'm taking the FIU Panthers plus 6.5 against Louisiana Tech. Now, you're probably saying, Noble, why are you betting this game? And truthfully, I don't know why I'm betting this game. Both of these teams suck. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. They're not that good. But if you look into the stats a little bit more and the data a little bit more, you'll realize that these teams are trending in different directions. FIU, they have been clutch all year, and not I won't say all year, but they've been clutch in key situations when they've been heavy underdogs. They were 16-point underdogs against New Mexico State. They won that game outright 21-7. 2-touchdown differential there. They were 14-point underdogs last week against Charlotte, and they won that game by 19. So they're used to being underdogs, and they can cover as an underdog, right? The Bulldogs are allowing 43 points. Louisiana Tech Bulldogs are allowing 43 points and over 520 yards of total offense per game this season to FBS foes. Their defense is absolutely terrible, and they rank among the country's bottom 2 teams in total defense. Now, when you look at it a little bit further, every FBS team that they have played this year have exceeded over 31 points. So that means that if really Louisiana Tech expects to win, that this thing has to become a shootout. But if it means it has to be a shootout, they got to score points, right? Well, in their last game against Rice, they lost in overtime, but their starting QB McNeil got hurt, and so did their backup Matthew Downing. Now when we're looking at Louisiana Tech, they're potentially starting a true freshman and Landry Liddy. And guess what? We saw last night what happens when you've got a team who's starting an inexperienced quarterback against a team that kind of has been playing with each other the entire season. Even though NC State ended up pulling out the win, they didn't get it going until a lot later. The FIU Panthers also have the 7th ranked pass rush in the entire NCAA. So they're going to bring the pressure. They're going to bring it, especially if there's a backup quarterback out there. Is he going to be able to read the blitzes? He's going to be able to read the coverage? I don't know, but I ain't banking on it. So because of that, my other best bet of today, well, it's not really my best bet, but my other bet that I really like today is FIU plus 6.5 against Louisiana Tech, and that's my football play of today. All right, guys, so those are 2 plays I wanted to drop on top of the 10X Parlay that I wanted to deliver to you all. Listen, there's a lot of money out here. We've got a full slate of NBA. We've got MLB World Series. The Nerfie's a little bit too high at a minus 185 on my book, so I'm not going to take that, but I probably will take the second inning if they get through the first inning and the first 3 or 4 batters pretty smoothly. Like I said, I do like the under, so I probably will play like 1 or 2 innings in this game and try to just cash out those unders and win those. But overall, guys, let's be patient. Let's make some money. Join the Telegram, subscribe to the channel, so this way you can stay up to date on all of the upcoming information, betting plays that we have. The Telegram was jumping yesterday. People were sharing plays. There were people who were winning parlays. It was awesome. They were betting on the Ravens. They were betting on first-time touchdowns. It was pretty cool to see. So I would love for you to be a part of the conversation, be a part of the community, but most importantly, make some money. So let's take it to the bank today. Let's cash these 2 bets, and then also let's try to make it 2 days in a row with the 10S Parlay. How's that sound? So that's it for me today, my friends. Let's get to it, and let's make some money and dictate your fate today. Later.